My name is Jehan Tanga. I'm an associate professor here at the Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering Department. We've been, actively working on exploring planetary environments. So quite a category of planetary environments that we're interested in have atmospheres. And how do we reach places on these planets? Reach from, sort of a launch site or a landing site and then get to other places. That's been sort of the major challenge. Similarly, with Mars exploration, it's been going on for more than 50 years. We've had, a great number of robotic crafts land at specific spots. And they often, the landers just look around. And then we have rovers that have been a, further advancement that roll around. Now, tens of kilometers. But how about hundreds of kilometers? How about thousands of kilometers? How about, to the other ends of the planet? And that's still not possible at the moment. But if you can exploit the atmosphere and fly or float, all of this becomes easy. Balloons are, such an easy device platform to build. And in fact, the easiest of them all are hot air balloons. So there is definitely proven need to want to access high altitudes using balloons to get in situ data. Everything from weather measurements to pollution readings to measurement of climate change, you name it, environmental awareness in a sense. So the vent is a simple, elegant approach to control how much hot air is inside the balloon. As a specific technology, it's sort of unique to this type of balloon platform, particularly in the way it's packaged and the way it's made. All it has to do is control the intake and outtake of hot and cold air in essence. And in this case, it's got to be ultra lightweight. So the vent really adds this next layer of capability to what is otherwise a passive balloon and turns it into a robotic device. At a basic level, it lets you change altitude with the balloon, but with more insight and knowing what wind patterns are at different altitudes, you can in fact utilize those. And so with the balloons, you can in fact go from a starting location and potentially come back to your starting location again. This would serve as a low-cost alternative to other platforms that can also give you quote-unquote aerial imaging or imaging from above, namely satellites, drones. But with this platform, you're going to have long duration persistence. We're looking for people, I think, who have entrepreneurial capabilities in that sense, who have some level of science and technology background, and who are potentially passionate about, seeing really promising technology like this take on and solve some of these practical challenges and help reduce cost in the process. I'm a University of Arizona inventor.